of black. Thank you.
5 years ago, Amy Winehouse went to Dingle, the westernmost town on the coast of County Kerry. She'd accepted an invitation to appear at one of the world's most exclusive music festivals. The Dingle Festival, set in a tiny church in the middle of the town, provides the raw material for the Irish TV series Other Voices. Everyone who plays there wants to come back. Amy Winehouse arrived on a wild, stormy night, ready to sing and ready to talk, especially about her musical heroes. Arena pays tribute to Other Voices, and together they join forces to present the whole of that performance and allow Amy Winehouse to tell the story of her music in her own words.
Amy appeared in the 5th series of Other Voices, which we film every winter here in Dingle. As the crow flies, Dingle is about the same distance from London as, say, Aberdeen. But you can't get to Dingle by crow. Whether you start your journey by plane or by train, you finish it by automobile, weather permitting. You don't just go to Dingle by accident. It takes a commitment. A commitment musicians have been making to Other Voices for 10 years now. A commitment Amy made back in 2006. The truth is, there's something very, very special about Dingle, and there's something quite unique about Other Voices. Other Voices was never planned. It did just happen. Here there are conditions that are special and that are very conducive to great music. It's peripheral. People feel safe here. Artists sense something here. So over the years, as we've asked people to come, some say no, but many say yes. And if you go down through the lists of people who have come, Irish artists who begin their careers here, great artists from all the world around, you know, whether it's the National, whether it's Rufus Wainwright, his sister, Martha, Ray Davis, Ryan Adams, all of these people come and something special happens. But something really special happened the day that Amy came to Dingle.
It started off bit by bit, not with rock concerts, but there was a parishioner here, Steve Coulter, and he noticed that the church was only being used one day of the week and said, "This is a pity. I can do something for all the tourists visiting Dingle." He was looking for a place to have music that wasn't a pub. And so he started folk concerts here with the permission of the Select Vestry, that's like the parish council, to help him in his work, but also help the parish do a bit of fundraising, because the parish here would have been, very badly hit over the years with emigration. It would have once been quite a thriving parish, and now it's quite small in numbers, so it's difficult for a small congregation to keep a building like this up and running. From that, somebody had the idea of, well, maybe if there's folk concerts here, maybe we can have other things. And so Philip King, I think, approached Steve then, and they approached Select Vestry with the idea of maybe bringing other musicians in, sort of wider variety.
Look at where we are. We're at the edge of the known world, as it was, before we found out that it was round. We used to think that if you stood at the edge of the Dingle Peninsula and you looked west and you walked out there, you would fall off. We were at the edge of the known world. There is something about places that are at the edge. Artists sense something when they come here. Of that I have no doubt. And they make an effort to come. And there's something in the effort of getting here that makes the way that they perform different. Because the budget isn't big. You know, the production doesn't have all of, you know, the clipboard people running around wondering if everything is all right. You know, there is something communal and collegiate about the place. And people come here, it's real, and they're cherished. And they take to the stage, and sometimes I think that people, when they go on the stage in the church, are a little bit sort of wary of it, or almost put off by it, or find it very difficult. If you're Snow Patrol and you play to 40,000 people last night, and you play to 80 people tonight, you know, you're smack up against it. You're sitting in the lap of the person in the front row. So this is different. It is a different experience.
It was a bad evening, terrible evening. Very, very wet, very windy and wet. Actually, very windy and wet. It gave me a name, but I hadn't a clue from Adam who the lady was. Not a clue. Just got the name, and I remember going up to the airport and writing it out on the information desk at the airport, getting the paper thing and writing her name on it and standing there with it. That's what I remember about it, but didn't have a clue who Amy Winehouse was. And I know the flight was late, and I was waiting there for a while, and this girl came along and a man with her. And I was actually looking out for more people. I thought there was more people to come, and I just said to her, I said, "Where's your mother?" And she says, "My mother's back in London." And she was laughing at, and we were laughing in between her. I thought she was a child of Amy Winehouse, to tell you the truth. That's my first reaction to seeing her, you know, was that she was a child.
I remember it being a very long day, getting here, and then going to the hotel to get ready, and then coming to do the performance, and then going straight back to the airport. And it was so long, it was a blur.
There's one in there. No, you're all right.
Should I stick my phone in there?
Sure, by all means, yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time, you know. Always did. And she loved coming to Ireland, actually. You know, we've been a few times, and she always enjoyed herself a lot, so.
The label, Chantal was texting me, is she there? Is she okay? Who's arrived? Who's picked her up? Is everything okay? And I was like, everything is wonderful. You know, she marched up the stairs in Benner's into her room, and she says, "Can you give me a hand?" And I said, "Well, what?" And she said, "Well, will you hold my hair while I backcomb it?" I was like, okay. So I'm holding the back of her hair, and she's backcombing the front. And I was like, "Can I get you something to eat?" And she was like, no, I'm late. I'm sure you're way behind schedule. We've got work to do.
We are delighted to have here tonight Amy Winehouse.
All I can ever be to you is the darkness that we knew, and this regret I got accustomed to. Once it was so right when we were at our height, waiting for you in the hotel at night. I knew I had him in my match, but every moment we could snatch. I don't know why I got so attached. It's my responsibility. You don't owe nothing to me but to walk away. I have no capacity. He walks away, the sun goes down. He takes the day, but I'm home. And in your gray, in this blue, save my tears to write on their own. I don't understand. Why do I stress a man when there's so many bigger things at hand? We could have never had it all. We had to hit a wall. So this is an inevitable withdrawal. Even if I stop wanting you and perspective pushes through, I'll be some next man's other woman's son. I cannot play myself again. I should just be my own best friend. I fuck myself in the head with stupid man. He walks away, the sun goes down. He takes the day, but I am grown and in your way in this blue. Save my tears to write on their own. So we are history. Your shadow covers me. The sky above, oh blaze. He walks away. The sun goes down. He takes the day, but I am wrong. And in your way, in this blue, save my tears to write. I wish I could say no regrets, no emotion, no debts. But as we kiss goodbye, the sun sets. So we are history. Your shadow covers me. The sky above a blaze that only lovers see. He walks away. The sun goes down. He takes the day, but I am wrong. And in your way, in this blue, save my tears to ride. Oh, he walks away. The sun goes down. He takes the day, but I'm rolling in your grave. In this blue, save my tears to ride. He walks away. The sun goes down. He takes the day, but I am wrong. And in your way, in this blue, save my tears to ride on their own. Thank you.
Amy, you've just done a set which is, you know, clearly Amy Winehouse, soul singer, you know, and we don't get to hear that kind of music, you know, in real life very often, but we do hear it on record. Presumably you heard this kind of music first on record as well.
Yes.
So who was it?
When I was younger, I didn't really listen to a lot of soul. But in the last year, I've got very into Motown girl groups and that kind of thing.
Just in the last year?
Yeah, no, maybe year and a half. Yeah.
Well, it seems like it's in your bones.
Yeah, and I mean, I liked Otis Redding when I was younger. I've liked Otis Redding from about 14 or 15. But I listened to hip hop and jazz for so many years that it just took me a while to. I mean, that's pretty much it. Soul comes in the middle of you know, it goes jazz, soul, or Motown, then hip hop. Yeah. You know, obviously. So obviously, I've gone in the middle of them too. But just recently, I've been listening to a lot of gospel singers like Mahalia Jackson and Aretha Franklin. So I love gospel singers because gospel's so truthful. There's nothing, you know. I mean, I'm not religious, but there's nothing more pure than the relationship you have with, you know, your God or what you believe in, your faith. You know, there's nothing stronger than that, apart from your love of music. So gospel to me is very inspirational.
Just listen, I surrender all day, all night, all day. Just listen, I surrender. Just listen, I surrender. Some crying, some praying, some running, some sighing. Just listen, I surrender. In this great children, rain, oh my Lord, did that, oh my Lord, did that rain.
It's our musicians and our artists who are the prophets of today. Because a prophet, biblically speaking, isn't a fortune teller. A prophet is somebody who tells it how it is, who can hopefully see things the way God sees things, so tell you how things really are. as opposed to the way that people might think they are. When you have people singing rock and roll songs or pop songs or whatever it is, I think that gives you a window into where society is. The musicians don't create that, they just reflect it. And then sometimes you do get people writing really insightful and beautiful pieces that they've brought here, and it does feel nearly like an act of praise or an act of worship to have them performed in this space.
This is the next single. This is out January the 15th. This is called I'm No Good. Meet you downstairs in the bar and I heard your rolled up sleeves and your skull t-shirt. You say, why did you do with him today? And sniff me out like I was Tanqueray. 'Cause you're my fella, my guy. Hand me your Stella and fly. By the time I'm out the door, you're 10 men down like Rosamore. I cheated myself like I knew I would. I told you I was terrible. Yeah, you know that I'm no good. Upstairs in bed with my ex-boy. He's in a place, but I can't get joy. Thinking on you in the final throes. This is where my buzzer goes. Run out to meet you. Chairs in picture. You say where we married, 'cause you're not bitter. There'll be none of him no more. I cry for you on the kitchen floor. I cheated myself like I knew I would. I told you I was trouble. Yeah, you know that I'm no good. That's what I'm saying. Sweet reunion, Jamaica and Spain. We're like how we were again. I'm in the tub and you on the sea. Lick your lips as I soak my feet. Then you notice liquor carpet burn. My stomach drop and my guts churn. You shrug at it's the words who truly stuck the night in fires. I cheated myself like I knew I would. I told you I was trouble. Yeah, you know that I'm no good. I cheated myself like I knew I would. I told you I was trouble. Yeah, you know that I'm no good.
When you're a singer and you haven't heard someone like Mahalia Jackson until later in life, that must make you reassess yourself as a singer.
You just kind of... There's a lot of singers who, if you are singing and you don't know certain people's works intimately, you give up. Like Sarah Vaughan, Minnie Riperton is another singer like that. Mahalia Jackson, Dinah Washington, Kim Burrell is another one. And to see, for live performances, you have to see Colleen Anderson at least 3 times in your life. You have to.
Yeah.
She's someone who I'll sit around the venue all day just to hear her sound check, all day. She did a version of Don't Look Back in Anger, and I was just crying. Oh.
Take me to the place where you go, where nobody knows if it's night or day. And please don't put your life in the hands of a rock and roll band. We'll throw it all away. So I'll start a revolution from my bed. 'Cause you said the brains I had weren't in my head. Step outside, the summertime's in bloom. Stand up beside the fireplace and take that look from off your face. 'Cause you ain't ever gonna burn my heart
they're very inspirational people, but they're also very, very hard to emulate because they are so extraordinary, some of these people.
Well, I admire both their, what's that word, dexterity?
Yeah.
And but also the way they stand out. You know, you can't, they're very, you know, there's singers like Ella Fitzgerald. I would say she was one of the greatest singers of all time, but she knew how to carry a tune, to me, really. She doesn't stand out because she just sounded like a lot of other people. You can hear her and go, oh, that's Ella Fitzgerald, but it's not like she stood out, you know.
Would you prefer Sarah Vaughan to Ella Fitzgerald?
Easily.
Yeah.
Sarah Vaughan's like one of my favourite singers of all time. Sarah Vaughan was an instrument. I've heard her on record humming. She does like a humming solo. She sounds like a reed instrument. She actually sounds like a clarinet or something.
Yeah.
It's mad.
And that ain't good. The weekend's over, and Monday rolls around. I end up like I started, just crying my poor heart out. Lord, Lord above me, make him love me. The way he should. I got it bad.
When you started to sing, first of all, was it singers like Sarah Vaughan that you were trying to copy or be? Or?
No, I think I came to Sarah Vaughan a lot later. I was about 18. But when I started listening to Ella Fitzgerald, and then I was like, my brother had all the good stuff, and my brother was like, Dinah Washington. So I learnt to sing from Dinah Washington a lot. But I learnt to sing from listening to stuff like Monk and a lot of soloists. That's how I learnt to sing as well, rather than just listening to singers. Because I loved jazz. It wasn't really the vocal jazz. I just loved jazz. So I learnt from everything, really.
And when you started to perform as a jazz singer, what was the setup? Were you part of a band? Were you invited to sit in with people?
I think I did one gig as a jazz singer for the National Youth Jazz Orchestra, which everyone's come through, comes through or goes through at some point. I think that was my first and last gig, because after that, my manager came to that gig and said, "I'll give you loads of studio time and just go and play guitar and write songs." And I was like, "Thanks, why?" And he's like, "Well, you're going to make an album and then I'm going to get you signed and everything." And I was like, "Really?" You know, so it was cool. But I did a lot of, I still did up until a couple of months ago. I'd go and do massive, like I did the opening for a casino, and I'd go out with just my piano player with that and would just do jazz all night. Or sometimes we get like, there's these Russian bankers, they really like me because I'm Russian Jew. They like me, they always book me if they're in town, and we do jazz for them, we don't do my stuff. So I still sing jazz, but I do it in a duo context.
For you I was a flame. Hello, it is a losing game. 5-story fire, you came. Love is a losing game. One I wish I never played. Oh, what a mess we made. And now the final frame. Love is a losing game. Played out by the band. Love is a losing hand. And it was more than I could stand. Love is a losing hand. Self-professed, profound, till the chips are down. Though you're a gambling man, love is a losing hand. Though I battle blind, love is a fate resigned. And the memories, they mar my mind. Love is a fate resigned. Over futile and left out by the gods. And now the final frame. Love is a losing game. Thank you.
The whole jazz thing's got a bit strange, hasn't it? Because anybody who sings any kind of acoustic folk now even is called a jazz singer, and yet you grew up singing the real stuff. I mean, you were into Monk and all of that.
Yeah.
Is there a good jazz scene in England at the moment, in London? Yeah?
Yes, there is. Not in London necessarily, but we have June Records. My guitarist actually plays for their. It's not really not their house band, but they have a band. There's a band signed to June Records called Jazz Jamaica. They're amazing. They're amazing. Saw them at Brecon, and it was a massive auditorium, and they were on quite early in the day because like not a lot of people know who they are. We sat at the back of the auditorium expecting it to fill up, and there was probably about 30 people in there. But when I say massive, I mean the size of, it must have been like 1,000 capacity, and we were like practically alone. It was amazing, and it's so cool. Their stuff, it literally is like ska jazz, and they're wicked. And then there's members of that. Dennis Baptiste is in there, and then you've got there's Abram Wilson, who's a great trumpet player. He's doing his own thing. But I think my favourite jazz artist in England is definitely Soweto Kinch.
Oh, he's great.
I love Soweto. I've Mel, every time I see him, I'm like, hi, have you still got a girlfriend? And he's like, I'll chuck her for you. I'm like...
The mission to excel is a solitary one. Hours of dedicated practice every day for little or no financial reward. Milkmen and paperboys have long finished their rounds. Schoolchildren are on their way, and the ordinary bustle goes on around. The jazz musician's quest goes on regardless in this unlikely setting. High above the drudgery of routine, trying to climb the stratosphere and be heard.
Listening, I presume you were. I mean, when you were at school and, you know, all girls together, you presume you listened to what was on Top of the Pops and listened to regular pop music as well, right?
Yeah, but when I was very young, only when I was very young, I mean, I watched Top of the Pops because you do watch Top of the Pops until you're old enough to start going out on a Friday night. Is it Friday night?
It's Thursday when I was a kid. I don't know when it is now. In fact, I don't even think there is Top of the Pops anymore.
Well, no, there isn't. But I loved Kylie when I was about 6. Then I loved Kylie when I was about 6. Then Madonna, it was Madonna. I graduated to the Church of Madonna. I converted to the Church of Madonna. I loved Madonna so much. And then when I was about 10, I kind of got wind of Salt and Pepper, and my life changed.
What a man.
Completely, my life changed. And from then on, it was like R&B only. From about 10. And then when I was about 14, jazz.
You know, she was heavily influenced with Thelonious Monk, and, you know, I'd spend a bit of time in the evenings with her listening to Monk, really, and her following, you know, everything note for note. And it was amazing, really, because it's such heavy music anyway. Yeah, she was very much into instrumentation as well as the voice, really. And it came out when she'd sing, really. She just had that ability to improvise phrases, and I mean, her rhythm was phenomenal, so she could just literally manipulate it in the way she wanted to, really, you know. And every night when we go on stage, she could sing the same song, but different every night, and she'd give her all.
Did you have help in kind of finding this stuff? I mean, for instance, did your parents have these records, or did you have to go and look for them?
No, my brother had everything. I mean, all the R&B and that stuff that I came to when I was like, it was then called swing at the time. Like stuff that I would buy. My brother was like, no. Actually, at the time, my brother was listening to a lot of like Sonic Youth and Pearl Jam and Therapy and like really like I Want to Die bands like that. And I had a very brief flirtation with that, but I must have been about literally, like I said, 9. And then I discovered Salt and Pepper, and I was like, I've got my music now. And then he started listening to jazz when he was about 18, and I was 14. And I just remember the first time I ever heard Around Midnight, Through the Wall.
Yeah.
And I was just like...
Was it Monk or Miles playing it?
Monk.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is that? I'll never forget that. Yeah, I still remember hearing it.
And then Ella sings it too, which is a great version of it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, of course.
Anyway.
And I remember the first time I heard Ray Charles ever. It was Unchain My Heart. And yeah, it was Unchain My Heart. I remember walking into my brother's room and I opened the door. I always used to knock because my brother would throw stuff at you if you didn't knock. I opened the door and I was just like that. And he goes, what? He looked at me like I was about to go, Mum's dead, or something like that. That's weird. He goes, what's wrong? And I went, who is this? And he went, it's Ray Charles. I was like, Ray Charles. And then from then on, I think I just listened to Ray Charles for 3 months, like exclusively. I was just like,
unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. Every time I call you on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. So unchain my heart, oh please set me free.
99% of all songs, I start with the lyrics. The lyrics must tell me a nice story. I must get some feeling. It must be some kind of way I can identify with that song. And then it's like being a good actor, a good actress, you know, how you do a part on the stage where people, you know, become so involved with you that they forget that you're just playing a part that somebody written and they get mad at you and or if you're funny, they laugh like you know, it's that kind of a thing. Or if it's sad, they'll cry. That's because you're doing what you're doing so well that you get the people involved in the feeling of what you're doing. And it's the same thing with singing a song. And that's what I try to do. I find songs that I feel I put myself into and make you believe that what I'm singing about must have happened to me. And you too, maybe.
She talked about music in a really beautiful way, in a way that a real singer does, you know. And there's something about singers. They're odd, you know. They carry songs with them. How many songs is any singer singing at one time? How many songs are in a singer's head, for example? You know, if you talk to a great jazz singer, they'll say, I know 500 songs, but I'm singing 30 of them at the minute, you know. With Amy, even one so young, who was only 22, on the edge of what became a truly brilliant career, that ended in tragedy. When she was here, I felt that she was really happy in some way, that she, certainly the way that she sang that night, she sang the blues away, if you know what I mean. She used her gift to still her trembling soul. She used her gift as a way to explain herself to herself, to entertain people, sure, but to sing the blues and to give herself some relief.
He left no time to regret, kept his dick wet with his same old safe bed. Me and my head high and my tears dry, get on without my guy. You went back to what you know, so far removed from all that we went through. And I tread a troubled track. My eyes are stacked. I go back to black. We only said goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her, and I go back to to us. I love you much. It's not enough. You love below, and I love above. And life is like a pie, and I'm a tiny penny rolling up the walls inside. We only say goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her, and I go back to. We only say goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her, and I go back to. I go back to black, 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 I go back to. I go back to. We only say goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her, and we only say goodbye with words. I died 100 times. You go back to her, and I go back to black.
The reference points on the new album, however, in terms of soul music, very often they're on the kind of pop soul end of things. That the girl groups, you know, the Shangri-Las and those sorts of people, and you know, what appeals to you in those groups, because they are some of them over the top, you know, melodrama by the bucket load.
Yeah, I love the drama. I love the atmosphere. I love the sound effects.
People will know Leader of the Pack and things like that, you know. But there's so many of them, Sophisticated Boom Boom.
And there's they just write the most depressing songs ever. Like I Can Never Go Home Anymore. It's when me and my boyfriend finished, I used to listen to that song on repeat. I listened to it for 2 weeks. I'd sit on my kitchen floor with a bottle of Jack Daniels, drink the Jack Daniels, and pass out. Wake up, just do it again. My flatmate used to just come in, leave me bags of KFC, and then just leave. She used to come in, see me, and be like, "It's your dinner. I'm going out."
Listening to I Can Never Go Home Anymore.
Yeah,
over
on
and
repeat.
Again. Wow.
Like that.
I'm gonna hide if she don't leave me alone. I'm gonna run away. Don't, 'cause you can never go home anymore. Listen, does this sound familiar? You wake up every morning, go to school every day, spend your nights on the corner, just passing time away. Your life is so lonely, like a child without a toy. Then a miracle, a boy. And that's the saddest song in the world. That is the most depressing song. It's like, yeah, Mum, I'm in love. And she's like, well, you're too young, you can't be there. Well, Mum, I'm leaving. No, first of all, she's like, I've got nothing in my life. All I do is go to school. And then a miracle, a boy. Yeah, and then her mum dies of grief because she never goes home. But when she leaves home, she's like, don't love him anyway. It's like just so depressing.
So what's that line? The angels came and took her for a friend.
Yeah, she grew so lonely in the end, the angels took her for their friend. Never, and I can never go home anymore, and that's sad. Never go home anymore.
there's this sense in our culture that suffering artist or that art comes out of a sense of things not being right, and it's that struggle, the struggle of suffering or people being really extreme and the being on the edge, and that's where great art comes from. And with Amy, there is this sense that, yes, there was this wonderful art, this wonderful music that came out, and to a certain extent came out from her living a life on the edge. But I think there's a sort of like a category mistake, that it doesn't have to stay on the edge. Do you know? It's maybe the great art comes out of the resolution between sort of being on the edge and then coming to a comfortable or safe place, or sort of a more whole place for a person. I find that any time I listen to any of Amy's music, it is tinged with that touch of sadness that she never got the resolution. It seems so very tragic.
This is my first single. Before I go on, I'd like to introduce my band to you. We've got Robin Banerjee on the guitar. And Dale Davis on the bass. He's got his own fan club, you know. All right, this is called Rehab. They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but when I come back, you no, no, no. I ain't got the time, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, just try to make me go to rehab. I won't go. I'd rather be at home with Ray. I ain't got 70 days, 'cause there's nothing you can teach me that I can't learn around Mr. Hathaway. I didn't get a lot in class, but I know we don't come in a shot glass. They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but when I come back, you oh no, no, no. I ain't got the time. If my daddy thinks I'm fine, just try to make me go to rehab, but I won't go. The man said, why you think you here? I said, I got no idea. Said, I'm gonna lose my baby. So I always keep a bottle on it. He said, I just think you're depressed. This me, yeah, baby, and the rest. They tried to make me go to rehab. I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but when I come back, you oh no, no, no. I don't never wanna drink again. I just need a friend. I'm not gonna spend 10 weeks have everyone think I'm the man. It's not not just my pride. It's just till these tears have dried. They tried to make me go to rehab, but I said no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but when I come back, you oh no, no, no. I ain't got the time, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, just try to make me go to rehab, but I won't go. Thank you very much.
In any sense, was this album in any way at all just moving you away from the jazz tag? Did you want to get away from that
No,
level?
at all. I mean, I'm a jazz singer. I can do jazz and I can do hip hop, and I'm just not listening. I just wasn't listening to that anymore. And what I listen to influences what I write very much. So, you know, I'm gonna do my third album now. I'm gonna just get it out of the like, just not get it out of the way, not you know, like knock it out, but like I'm just taking every opportunity. I've got 2 weeks off over Christmas. I'm going to work. I'm not going to sit around and eat chocolates and drink brandy. You know, I'm not going to do stuff like that. I'm going to have Christmas Eve with my boyfriend. I'm going to break him into Christmas. We're going to watch Bad Santa, Elf, and It's a Wonderful Life. I'm going to cook dinner, and if he doesn't cry, I'm going to leave him.
If that doesn't work, get rid of him.
I'm going to leave him.
Yeah, okay.
That's the Bad Santa, Elf, It's a Wonderful Life, and then me packing my bags, literally. And then Christmas Day at my mum's, my auntie's. Boxing Day at his mum's, and then back to work.
Well, it was literally a few weeks after the album took off in America, and she'd won loads of awards, and then that was it, you know. Just went off and promoted the record, and I think the demand for her was so great then, and she probably didn't have a chance to sit down and write that next album, really, so she burned so brightly, you know.
I have no idea what to do now. What?
Do you miss her?
Absolutely, you know, I think about her. When she was alive, I used to think about her all the time, every day, and now she's gone, you know, I always think about her, and it's a big loss. It's life, but it's a big loss, you know, really.
Yeah, okay. This is called Me and Mr. Jones. I don't need the pre-chord. Thank you.
Nobody stands in between me and my man. It's me and Mr. Jones. What kind of fucker is this? You made me Mr. Slick Rick Gig. You thought I didn't love you when I did it. Can't believe you played me out like that. No, you ain't worth guest list. Plus one of all them girls you kissed. You can't keep lying to yourself like this. Can't believe you played yourself like this. Slick Rick's one thing, but come Brixton, nobody stands in between me and my man. 'Cause it's me and Mr. Jones. Me and Mr. Jones. What kind of fuckery are we? Nowadays, you don't mean dick to me. But I might let you make it up to me. Yeah, yeah, baby. Who's playing Saturday? What kind of fuckery are you? Aside from Sammy, you're my best black Joe. I thought I could swear that we would throw. I still wonder about the things you do. Mr. Destiny, 9 and 14, nobody stands in between me and my man. I just me, yeah, Mr. Jones. Hey, yeah, Thank you. Thank you very much.
When Amy Winehouse sang, she let us in, if we have the ears to hear and the eyes to see, into the heart of what she really was, as a person and as an artist.
She touched all of us that year because she was so un-what she had been represented as in the tabloids. And we didn't care about any of that. We weren't interested in any of that, and still aren't. It was just brilliant that she came with her spindly little legs and her mental hair and sang her heart out in Kerry for us. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Thanks for talking to us. Thanks for making this trip. I know it was a long journey. So
Actually, having heard what some of you had to do to get here, mine was like a walk in the park. To be honest, all we did was have a 2-hour drive from another airport. At least we got a flight.
Well, you got here and you did the business in there tonight. And thanks, Amy. Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Sorry, I went off on one of my chats.
I went off on one.
I don't get to talk to people very often.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Wow!
Thank you so much.